Welcome to another information-filled day of How to ABL. Today is Speed Female Fracture Day. It is 8/31/2023. I'll briefly talk about the rotation, show you it in action, and give you additional information afterwards. So I'll be using Luna Snow with a Rage. Her rotation is pretty much 5-4-3. You delay the cancel until the rain comes down from the sky. You'll see the ice dropping, and then you're going to pretty much spam everything else. 2 and 1 are pretty much used as quickly as possible with cancels. 6 is also instant cancel as well. The only skills you really want to save is the 5-4-3 rotation, but pretty much besides for that, you're just spamming everything else. Don't worry about your procking, just hit as much as possible. She is tier 3. Obviously, you can tier 4 her and she'll do a lot better, but she is the meta for today. Let me show you her in action, and then we'll give you some additional information afterwards. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Luna Snow, switch to her, come on up, and then like I said, 5-4-3, drop 1-2. And then I'm going to use that team up ability there. See, I'm using 1 and 2 as soon as they're on cooldown. 6 over here, use 6 right away, cancel it. You don't need to wait on it or anything. 5-4-3, and then spamming the other skills. So I'm not going to constantly call out all of the moves. You're just going to pretty much spam it, and you'll see it in action here. So as soon as he's targetable in the center, he's going to jump. I'm going to go ahead and go right back into the 5-4-3. You do want to save your 2 right here. As soon as he raises his sword, you'll be able to use your 2 to do the cancel. She can cancel even at a tier 3, so you do not need a striker for canceling. If you're going to use a striker, you want to use one of the meta strikers like Thor. Alright, so let me run over and get that really quick. There we go, there's the 3rd, and then I'll use my 6 right away. 6 does take a little bit of a delay to hit. Not that that really matters, because like I said, as soon as it's ready, you pretty much want to use it right away. I got stunned there, he stomped on me. How dare he? How dare you step on Luna Snow? You can also turn down the graphics, and sometimes that is going to help your damage output. So I'll probably rerun this one more time after giving information if you want to stick around, just to see the damage difference as far as having the graphics turned down. When it's a character that has a lot of animation on the screen, sometimes it's advisable just because you can have a slight delay in your ability to use your powers. But it's up to you, you know? If you want to leave your graphics turned up all the way, that's fine. I like to because it looks nicer. It's nicer to look at better graphics on the screen. You'll notice that that delay on 3 is just, it's not very long. I mean, if you see the animation of the dropping ice, you can there's like a little splash that appears at the top of the screen. You can go ahead and cancel. Let me grab that orb over here. I'm going to go ahead and do the 5-4-3, 1-2. His sword's in the air. As long as his sword's in the air, you can usually use a lot of cancel skills on ABL to go ahead and get that cancel in. Alright, make sure you grab those orbs. You're always looking for that purple beam to appear. Run, grab it, come back. If you're lucky, the orbs drop on top of you. It is more important that you grab the orbs than to really focus on the rotation, because without those orbs, you're not going to get the Oathn Force, which is going to amplify your damage output by 150% for, I don't even know how long it lasts for. But you'll see here, top right corner, boom, there's the Oathn Force. So now we're doing an extra 150%. Well, I guess points increased by 150%. So not necessarily damage, it's points. But, I mean, you can't kill Surtur, so it's all about doing getting as many points as possible. As far as I'm concerned, it's related damage. I think that's damage at the top of the screen. So I'm going to say 150% damage, even if that's not 100% accurate. Alright, we are almost out. Remember, this is a Tier 3 Luna Snow, so 6.3 million is nothing to snuff at, honestly. What did I score last time? So Luna, I scored about 6.6. So yeah, I can get a little bit closer to 7. That did feel kind of light, so I bet you it's me forgetting to turn the graphics down before I show you the rotation. So yeah, definitely stick around if you want to see that higher score. I'm going to talk about my account a little bit, why it's built the way it is, the choices I've made, alternative options for you, and other teams that you can use for today. And then I'm going to go ahead and do one more run in ABL. So to begin with, I always show my cards. You know what cards are. The only thing I want to point out here is I don't have 25% Pierce. 25% Pierce. Pierce is very effective in ABL, so you want to maximize your Pierce if you can, and not be silly like me trying to roll for that blue all attack on every single card, which takes forever. But yeah, those are my card stats right now. I'll go ahead and show you my X-Sword stats, because again, all of this plays an effect and a factor in how high you can score in different game modes. My Luna Snow, as I'd mentioned, she's a tier 3. I will be tier 4ing her. She is probably the most meta of meta characters in both ABX and ABL. Her newest uniform, Summer Lilac, is incredibly powerful. If you were able to get this uniform, good on you. Even if you don't have her uniform, if you have the older one, Light Sirius Armor, and you tier 4 her, she does a fantastic job as well. She's level 80, energy attack character. Here's her overall stats. Let me hide my wonderful face over here so you can see all the stats. She does have the leadership. This will come into a factor later when we talk about White Fox. Let's see. This is her overall stuff. As you can see, I've got 30, 30, 25, 25. I'm saving up for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange might be coming out any day now. So Doctor Strange is getting tier 4 day 1. But she's probably going to be my next tier 4. As you can see, I already started working on her. If you were going to equip Urus, make sure that they're at least 5-star. I have some Odin's Blessings on her as well. But it's good to amplify her stuff if you want to get higher scores, and she's definitely worth it. Skills, always try to max out. She's sitting at rank 5 for her type enhancement. I've got a Poa on her. Honestly, any attack set's fine. Poa, Overdrive, Hawkeyes. Just depends on what your account needs. Just remember they all have that extra damage proc, so as long as it's an attack set, you're fine. And make sure every single one of those are 6-star all red. I've got her actual artifact. It's only 3 stars, but it is an instinct match, which plays bigger factor when she's tier 4, and it does amplify her damage. So if you can get her artifact, that is fantastic. Definitely want her artifact if you can get it. Custom gear is a rage. It needs to be reforged, and I will reforge it eventually. It's at 0.9, which is not too, you know, that's where you want it, at least at 0.9. That's very important. Uniform. So I have her Summer Lilac uniform. If you want to know what the uniform options are, we're talking Blade, Vampire Slayer. I don't know why I'm on crowd control. That's really bizarre. Colossus, Hellfire, Gala, Doctor Strange, Marvel Studios Avengers Infinity War, Thor, Marvel Studio Avengers Endgame, and Carnage Fallen Soul. So it looks like I didn't reroll all for uniform stats. So this is rather embarrassing. You caught me messing up here. So let's see. I don't know what she would actually need. Let's see what her actual overall stats are real quick. And let's see if she's struggling anywhere. That's probably why I didn't mess with it. I mean, I could give her some recovery rate maybe. And definitely the all attack. A lot of people like, oh, do we need all attack or energy? So all attack works for both. All attack is fine. But physical does not work for her. So let me see what options I can re-roll her uniform, because this physical defense just is worthless. And I guess we can give her a little bit more movement speed. So we'll auto re-roll that until it lands on movement speed. I think she was capped on movement speed too. I think that's why I didn't mess with her. Yeah, she's already capped on movement speed. Now she's over capped by 5%. If I could give her some more recovery rate, I would. But I mean, honestly, a lot of this stuff, crowd control time, I guess I'll leave alone, because she doesn't need any of this other stuff. I think she's even capped on attack speed. So yeah, there's nothing really else I need to really mess with her, so she's fine. But yeah, she's definitely a powerful character even at tier 3. Let's talk about team alternatives, and then I'll go ahead and rerun. So sorry about that delay. Let me go ahead and turn on the graphics right now. You go here to the settings, graphics, turn it down to very low. I would go ahead and leave your performance on high. I think that's important. But we'll have less stuff getting in our way here. So Alliance Battle, go to the Legendary, challenge the mode. So I'm using White Fox's leader. I'm sorry, I'm using Wave's leadership with White Fox. So Wave does a 25% increase for all basic attacks by being the leader, but she also has a support ability, which is the damage dealt for superhero allies, 50%. That is phenomenal there. Definitely worth having. And then there's White Fox. White Fox does a couple things for us. So the first thing White Fox is her uniform. Lifestyle Series 2 is not required. She's still a great support even without it, but she does do this bonuses for superhero allies. Increase all basic attack, chain hit, and ignore target's dodge just by having the uniform. Good stuff there. I also have an insight on her. She is definitely one of the top insight characters in the game, which is going to amplify any of your AB scores, period. And then she has skills. So her biggest skill here is her passive, and it is only applying to characters with leadership. Remember when I pointed out that Luna Snow has leadership, that shield icon under details? If they don't have that, this doesn't work for that character. But since she has that, damage dealt 65% to supervillains. That is a huge bonus. So any leadership team, any character where your damage dealer has leadership, you want White Fox on that team. Luna Snow is one of them. So with that combination there, she's doing phenomenal. Other considerations. Shuri is a great support. Has a fantastic support skill of 55% damage dealt. Not as good as White Fox, of course. Other characters that you could use besides for Luna. I think Shadow Shell Tier 4 and Spider-Gwen are both great alternatives to a Luna Snow. Unfortunately, Black Widow fell off pretty much after Shadow Shell and Gamora came out, and then Spider-Gwen came in and knocked them both out of the park. And now we have Luna Snow, who knocked everyone out of the park. So even at Tier 3, Luna Snow is going to outscore a lot of players. So Gamora is a consideration too. Like I said, Gamora, Shadow Shell, and Spider-Gwen. Those are the only 3 I would consider if you don't have Luna Snow. If you have Luna Snow Tier 4 with her old uniform, like I said, she'll probably still do a fantastic job. But this paywall uniform is just phenomenally good. Let me run it one more time, like I said, now that I have her graphics turned down, so I can see if I can get off the animations a little bit quicker. I do expect to have closer to 7 million. For a Tier 3 character, that's exceptional, especially for the way my account's built. So I'm going to try to focus here and really get these skills going and not talk too much. Since you can't really see the animation of the dropping, what I will typically do for 3 is I wait about a second. So when it's at 6, I'll pretty much interrupt it. Really important to stay on top of those skills. Keep getting in as many attacks as you possibly can. Alright, you can already see there's a little bit of a difference. So let me pick up this. As soon as he's targetable, like I said, go into the 5, 4, 3. 1, his sword's raised. I'm going to hit that 2. There is that cancel with that fracture. Love that she cancels too with this uniform. I don't know if the light serious armor actually cancels for today, so you might need to do a swap cancel. Swap canceling is not as bad when you're doing ABL. It hurts you a lot more in ABX unless the character you swap to can actually do some damage. But in ABL, it's like you're losing maybe a second. A lot of people I've talked to will argue and they'll say, oh no, you can't swap, it's gonna waste time, use your striker. But then you can't necessarily use your striker every round, or maybe you don't have a striker, like the situation that I'm finding myself in right now with a Tier 3 character. Probably should have been attacking while I waited for that orb to drop there, but whatever. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. It's fine. It's fine. You'll notice I pay no attention to her procs. Sometimes your procs will be on skills, sometimes they won't. Her skills cool down so quick anyway, though, it doesn't really matter that much. Let me grab that orb before I use my 6. Some of the animations are a little bit longer, so sometimes I will pause just to pick up the orb specifically in ABL. And if she gets stomped on, she's stunned for a second, and that hurts your score as well. There's so many things, especially here in ABL, that can hurt your overall score. So you got to be really careful sometimes with what you do and choices you make when you attack. You'll feel the game out. The more you play it, the more you're going to know when to do what. But for the most part, you can spam your rotation and just try to stay near him. And just know that your score might go up and down depending on luck of the draw. All right, let me grab that really quick. Ooh, of course I'm going to proc as I run away and waste some of that precious proc time. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so here's the last one, and it's going to drop right on top of me. I should have stayed there and kept attacking. So remember, top right corner, that's what my old score was. We're going to see if we can beat that score, because I've done 6.6 million before with this team. There, I knew we'd beat the score. The question is, can we get all the way up to 7? I want to get to 7. At least 6.8, but I want 7. Give me 7. Come on, Luna. I know you can do it. Well, at least I got my 6.8. Ooh, 6.9. Oh, so close. But as you can see, high graphic characters, especially on an emulator. This applies to phones that are slow. If your phone's slow, it's worth trying, period. Just drop the graphics for one run. Look at the difference here, 6.3 to 6.9 million. Huge jump. I will definitely take that score. Going to write that down in my score tracker. 6920855. Cool. 6,920,855. Perfect. That's a good score. I'll take that, especially for a Tier 3 character. So anyway, if you found this helpful at all or entertaining, consider thumb upping and leaving your comments below because it helps the algorithm. Thanks for watching, and may your ABL score be as high as possible.